Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1, Uplift Patronage, written by Redknell97. After a long day of boring politics, Mike, the human ambassador to the GU, couldn't wait to get out of here and have his well-deserved dinner, when the Speaker of the Union Senate called out, "As our last topic for today, we have a request from the ambassador from the Charlek people. Ambassador Locke, your time begins now." As the addressed alien approached the podium, Mike whispered to himself, "Of course the Feck and Grey are real. Can't wait for the conspiracy crackpots to claim that they were right all along. Never mind all the explanations I have to give about how they weren't. It's just some strange coincidence." Ambassador Locke took a second to orient himself, check his notes, and then spoke. "Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm here on behalf of my government to claim the right of patronage." The entire hall suddenly buzzed with conversations, before Locke calmed them down. "I am aware that this is an unusual way of doing such, but in this particular case the normal way of just filing a form would likely lead to complications. You see, between 5,000 and 6,000 years ago, we landed on a newly discovered planet, and upon finding a Bronze Age society, we started our Uplift program. We helped them build huge monuments. We advanced their astronomics, maths, and other sciences by centuries. However, due to the funding cuts, we had abandoned this project, and it was forgotten to time. But we recently rediscovered the documentation of this planet, and therefore we'll restart it and claim our Uplift patronage over the race of humanity." There were only 2 words in Mike's mind. Well, fuck. After getting rid of the shock, he protested. "This is unheard of. You can't just declare a full member race as subordinate to yours. This is ridiculous. This is an insult, and I'm pretty sure that it's illegal as well." To this, the ambassador on the podium answered, "It is unheard of, yes. However, it is in no way ridiculous, nor is it meant as an insult. It is merely our right to do so. And while there has been no precedence of something like this happening, there is not a single paragraph deciding it to be illegal." The following silence was broken by the Senate Speaker. "Well, this has to be checked in detail. Our law advisor's preliminary report seems to confirm this. If that turns out to be true and humanity can't produce a counter-argument, the Senate has no choice to accept the Charlek's request. Ambassador Mike, what does humanity have to say about this?" Mike was stunned. "You mean, right now, with no preparation time?" "Yes. Usually the claimed race has no possibility of arguing at all. But due to the circumstances, you do get exactly 1 chance right now. So speak now, or forever hold your silence." Mike was frantically searching for a possibility of solving this mess without humanity becoming what, in reality, amounted to a slave race, no matter how beneficial the law made it sound. He had found one, only one, and without the slightest ideas of his opponent's capabilities. It was the mother of all Hail Marys. To be an Uplift patron requires the ability to uplift the race in question, correct? Mike gave no one the time to answer this rhetorical question, which in turn requires the patron to be technologically superior, correct? So if I can demonstrate that this superiority does not exist, this request has no legal ground to stay on, correct? This time he waited for the answer. "According to our law advisors, this logic chain is valid," answered the speaker. "Now this is ridiculous. You humans are on the galactic stage for a few years. We have been here for a millennia. How can we not be superior? So sure, we accept this challenge." "This is it. I'll either save or doom our human race within the next few minutes," thought Mike, before he asked with completely false confidence. "So let us start easy. What is your most advanced mode of energy generation?" "That would be a fusion technology, where 2 atoms, mostly hydrogen, would fuse together to a bigger atom, while releasing vast amounts of energy. A single reactor can easily supply the city, an entire continent it stands on.
What about you? Solar, fossil fuels, maybe even fission?
The alien stared at Mike with a clear look of superiority. No, this might be easier than I thought. Well, we still have those in small amounts, as well as fusion, but nowadays most of our power comes from zero-point energy. We can build the units big enough to supply entire solar systems, but to match the output of one of your reactors, you'll need one about the same size as me. That definitely took off the care of the lock's smug face, while he could only stammer out,
That's impossible. I demand to end this facade on account of the humans' blatant lies.
The speaker intervened. Denied. The human is not lying. Just 2 months ago, my race ordered and received one of these units, and I can confirm his claims.
Fine. You had one lucky invention then. This means nothing yet. I doubt that you can match the speed of our spaceships. Our fastest ship can reach about 200 light years per hour.
Mike had to suppress a laugh. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the Renosian ambassador can confirm. We recently tested our new generation of warp drives in a war game. The fastest speed recorded was exactly 420.69 light years per hour. Oh, that's fun. What do you want to know next?
Weapons! That's our specialty. We're leaps and bounds ahead of you. Or do you want to claim that you can make a star go supernova?
Well, I can't tell you about our most powerful weapons, as they are classified. While completely true, Mike deliberately set this up as a trap, into which the alien immediately jumped.
Ha! So you admit defeat?
Not at all. Firstly, weaponry is only one of many fields of technology. Secondly, I am, however, allowed to talk about our most powerful, non-classified weapon, which is basically a zero-point energy reactor rigged to explode, attached to a rocket engine. Our most destructive test cleared an entire solar system of every single atom. Imagine one day in the morning there is an entire system, a sun or two, 5 to 15 planets, and a few asteroid belts. And then, not even later in that day, you have a perfect vacuum for billions of miles around. Mike couldn't stop himself anymore. You know what? Stop me if you hear something you're better at. Computation, matryoshka brains, civil engineering, space elevators, medicine. We can make ourselves biologically immortal. Geoengineering, ever transformed a dust ball into a life-sustaining planet. Nanotechnology. Do you guys even have nanotech? The alien did not move a single muscle in his body, except for those which lowered his jaw further and further, until it almost fell out of its joints.
Well, you got a big mouth, all right, but you simply can't back up any of it. I hereby ask for his request to be denied.
After a short pause, the speaker answered, The request of Ambassador Locke is hereby officially denied. However, due to the obvious technological disparity, humanity may want to consider taking patronage over the Sharlok instead. End of story. Story number 2. The Plagueworlders, written by Scrummy Bingers 3. Human is what the Plagueworlders referred to themselves as. In truth, they were pretty unremarkable, for coming from a Class 5 Deathworld. They lacked the razor claws, fangs, or heavy armor plating, kindness, or otherwise, that was so common amongst Deathworlders, and their only remarkable feat was their ability to run until they either died or passed out, which compared to unshakable and nigh-impenetrable shells of the Erkni, or the ridiculously quick and razor-sharp Huron, they were nothing to write home about. The humans, after making themselves known to the wider galaxy, began to stretch out and figure out who was friend and who was foe. But a strange event would happen, where the worlds, colonies, and stations would suddenly start to go dark in the humans' wake. Studies were done, and accusations were levied on the humans. Accusations of purposefully creating and spreading a weaponized virus to eliminate all possible threats. A war started and ended before anyone realized it wasn't the humans purposely spreading the hyperplague, but it was their anatomy and even their world itself. It turned out that while the multicellular life wasn't too much to talk about, the microorganisms were on a whole different level. Earth wasn't just a simple death world, it was a plague world, full of the most virulent and deadly bacteria and viruses to ever naturally occur. This shocked the greater galaxy and led to the humanity becoming a species of pariahs who, despite being overly friendly, spread death on a level never before seen. End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons: Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Parky, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Lord Azrakul, and Arcadian.